I'm B, and this is B's Intuition. Today we're going to do a reading. I'm really hoping that you guys can hear me well because I've noticed that. Oh, sorry. I hope that didn't make a noise. But the thing about these covers for my mics is they kind of muffle my voice. I've noticed. In my last upload, I was kind of talking loudly just because I was afraid that it wouldn't pick up on the mic, but then my mic was peaking and stuff while I was talking loudly into it or whatever. But yeah, so I'm just a little bit worried that because it's the fuzzier one that it's going to be harder to hear me. But the thing is, the weather today is just so absolutely windy and crazy like that I need to use the fuzzy one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and speak into the mic, but I'm not going to do it like I did yesterday, where I was talking very loudly into the mic, because that came across very I don't know, obnoxious, I guess. So I'm hoping for the best with this one. I'm really hoping that you can hear me, that I'm not too muffled, and also that you can't hear all of the crazy wind that's happening. You might see it because my hair and my tripod, you might see it, get shaky or whatever, and my hair go all crazy. But yes, I kind of need to have this fuzzy one today because of this extreme wind. But on the bright side, it's absolutely beautiful out today. The sun keeps trying to come out, even though there's a good amount of clouds, but the sun is trying so hard to come out, and I appreciate it for that. It's in the 60s, so that's a beautiful time. I actually have a condition, a health condition, that causes me to excessively sweat. So I'm very relieved to see that this is my happy zone in terms of I am not sweating profusely. So maybe it's the 70s and up that I typically tend to sweat a lot. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm just very happy with the weather, and even though it's extremely windy and I'm a little bit afraid of branches falling on me, I still want to do this anyways. I want to be out here. I want to be in this spot. This is my favorite spot to be. It's my home away from home. And the vibes are vibing, baby. Let's dive right in. Oh, let me tell you what the freaking reading is about. So the reading will be about getting hair in my mouth. That's what the topic of the reading is. What am I trying to say? The topic of the reading. Oh, yes. So what this is going to be, I feel like it would be fun to do one that's what you don't see coming. What's coming towards you that you don't see coming. I feel like this will be nice. Let's just dive right in, shall we? All right. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you tell us what the collective does not see coming towards them? What does the collective not see coming towards them? Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective... Oh. Anything else, please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's dive into that. Oh my goodness, you guys. Spirit is brewing up something really beautiful for you here. I'm going to just try and find something to weigh down the cards so they're not absolutely flying everywhere. Let me show you the cards that came out. So the first one ain't too great, but we'll dive into all of them, of course. 10 of Swords. That was followed by the Lovers. And you want to know what the Lovers was followed by? The 2 of Cups. Wow. And then this one came out a little bit clumsily. but I decided to keep it in there because I feel like it's probably meant to come out. And it's the Seven of Swords in the reverse. And I like that a lot, considering what the Seven of Swords upright typically indicates. I feel like somebody is revealing something to you that maybe you did not know. And it could have been something. For some reason, I feel like this is a good thing, though. I feel like if somebody was hiding something from you, it more than likely is probably something good, considering we have like the Two of Cups here, and then I'll show you what's at the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Cups. So love is in the air is what I'm feeling here. But yeah, let's just dive right into the clarification. Let us not waste any more time. Let's dive right in, shall we? What a day to have lipstick on and long hair blowing in the breeze. Anyways, let's get serious and focus on the reading. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes. All right, so let's start with that 10 of Swords. Please, thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming in relation to this 10 of Swords? Please, thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming? Okay. One more shuffle. Okay. So, we have, for the 10 of Swords, we have the Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit card is at the bottom of the deck. Sorry if you can hear anything in the background. There's people around. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit card. So this is an interesting energy. Ten of Swords, Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. This feels like you had a very painful ending that shifted your whole perspective of things, and maybe even your mindset when it comes to things. You really decided to maybe even take a step back from love and start to focus on your goals, ambitions, the things that you can work on. Maybe it is literally your work, your job, or your career, or something along those lines. But I see you investing into yourself and into your life here. And being quite guarded with your heart, but that probably is a good thing, I would say. Yeah, I see you developing boundaries that may have not been there before. Also, I'm sorry if you see me tilting my head down a lot. It's just because I'm trying to talk into the mic more, just in case it's hard to hear me. Yeah. You may have even been blindsided by this Ten of Swords energy experience. And it feels like, as a result, you're like, hell no to love, maybe? And also hell yes to boundaries. You may have also developed a set of standards that you're trying to live by. So if in the past you were maybe just accepting anyone who was interested, or you allowed anyone into your life, regardless of if they've hurt you or not, if they're healthy or not, you built some standards for yourself, and I see you sticking to that. Which is funny, because I was just saying how this probably, like, love is in the air kind of vibes, with the Two of Cups, Lovers, and the Knight of Cups. Interesting. But I feel like it's probably something to do with divine timing. I feel like it was necessary for you to embody this Four of Cups in order for you to avoid the people that weren't meant for you. And I feel like as a result of that, you are going to come into union with your true soulmate. Because you chose yourself, your own health and happiness, first and foremost, and I think that is actually serving you here. I'm so afraid that the branches are just gonna come down and kill me. I'm risking my life for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh my god. This was probably a bad idea. I'm gonna just try and make this a quick reading as much as possible, just so I can reduce the time being under these trees. As much as I love them, I'm so concerned that these branches are gonna fall off and kill me. Okay. It's a beautiful day to be alive, but it might no. Okay, anyways. Yeah, I see that this is serving you, being in that Four of Cups energy. Being selective, having those boundaries up, even if you're perceived to be rude. Even if because look at this person's body language, very closed off. But the thing about these kinds of things, like standards, boundaries, you kind of have to be the asshole in another person's story, and you kind of have to be okay with that. But the thing about life is there's always that possibility. We just convince ourselves that, oh, if I people please enough, if I give everybody what they expect of me, then nobody will hate me. Or if I adapt to every person, then they have no choice but to like me. But that's not true. It's more of an illusion, if anything. And not to mention, when you're pretending to be somebody that you're not, you never truly feel loved, because if somebody is attracted to this fake version of yourself, that isn't you. And so as much as we may think, oh, this will guarantee my happiness and maybe impress the person that I like, if it's not authentic to you, not only will that truth come out sooner or later, but it's depriving you of those beautiful connections where two authentic souls come together and bond over the things that make you weird, over the things that are unique about you. There's so much beauty to being authentic, especially when it comes to interacting with others. But yeah, I feel like you've grown this ability to kind of be an asshole in someone else's story. And the thing about that too is, like, we can literally do everything perfectly, and there's still going to be one guy out there that just does not like us. And we have to be okay with that at the end of the day, because nobody is meant to be liked by everyone. And if they are, there's probably something that they're hiding. I'm just going to say. Yeah, that's just from my personal experience, at least. But yeah, you're okay with coming across as the bad guy because you know what you're protecting. You've also recognized your own value. And so you're not willing to compromise on what it is that you deserve. And I feel like that is completely valid. And so with that, being selective and having those healthy boundaries, you then turned your attentions to something in your 3D reality. And this could be your career, your work, projects, the things that fulfill you and give you a sense of stability in life, security, build your abundance. And this is actually quite beautiful here and very moving because the Ace of Pentacles, that's you starting something from scratch here, building something from the ground up, starting at square one. And then that Eight of Pentacles that follows it, that is about working at something so consistently and giving to this thing very consistently. You become a master at it. And I feel like you are entering the phase in which you are no longer that guppy that you once were. I see you becoming a full-grown fish here. And people are recognizing this about you. You've gained a lot of experience, a lot of mastery with whatever you've been investing in. This could also just be yourself that you've been investing in, but it feels like it could have something to do more so with your 3D reality. Matching. It almost even feels like with that Four of Cups, that was you mastering your inner world, and the Ace of Pentacles to Eight of Pentacles is you mastering your outer world as well. I'm so sorry if the tripod is so shaky. I am trying to weigh it down with things, but I think it's just not going to work as well as I thought it would. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Yeah. But yeah. So it feels like something is coming in as a result of you putting in this work on yourself, on your life, building those boundaries, holding firm when it comes to those boundaries, those standards that you've developed for yourself, keeping to those standards, living in accordance with them, not compromising on them, because you know, even if you have your moments of doubt, you know that you have something valuable within you. We all do. And it's very unfortunate that some people think that they don't. We all have our special skills and abilities that make us unique and, very likable, even if it's not the status quo. And that's another way of making authentic, deep friendships. Because if you are true to who you are, you can find other people who are also true to who they are. And you can also bond over things that maybe you never thought you would be able to bond over. So, some reason I'm getting the message that life is so beautiful when we allow it to be. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. I'm just so hoping that you can hear me and not this insane wind. I'm so worried that this audio might be completely unusable. But the thing about me is I'm very stubborn. I don't give up very easily, so I'm going to stick it out, see how far we can go without, without losing our minds maybe. Without losing all of my cards as they flow away. You better stop. There's a card in here that was backwards. Let me put that upright. I keep my cards upright because it makes it easier to tell which ones are meant to come out in the reverse. Okay. Oh, let me show you the bottom of the deck. So we have the Hermit card. You have gained a lot of wisdom by being in isolation. And it feels like you've been in isolation because of this Ten of Swords. You gained a lot of wisdom, a lot of self-knowledge as well, which probably leads you to having more confidence in yourself. You also have established maybe a path for yourself. a general direction in which you'd like to head, and you're living in accordance with that purpose or that path. You gained a lot of wisdom though, so maybe you were so much more wise than you were in the past, and that's very valuable. Maybe there's even something with that Hermit about you sharing wisdom with others. Let's see what's underneath that Hermit card. Page of Swords. Somebody's watching you, so somebody has seen your growth, your progress, this transition from a nasty past to rebuilding yourself in your life. Somebody's been observing all of this. Depending on what the work is that you've been doing, maybe this is a lot of people who've been watching you. Feels like what is coming in that you don't see coming is like, it could be something in relation to this person that's been watching your journey unfold. They could be quite impressed with you. Maybe slightly intimidated because the Page of Swords versus the Hermit. Something about you maybe being more experienced than they are. Or wiser, maybe. Yeah. Let's see what's underneath that Page of Swords, just out of curiosity. Ten of Swords. Actually, that is so fitting because we are clarifying the Ten of Swords. So this is somebody who has seen you at your lowest. And they also have seen you improving your life and maybe spending more time in isolation as a result of all of that pain that you experienced in your past. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the Lover's card now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming with that Lover's card? Please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. What is this Lover's card trying to indicate as to what the collective does not see coming? Not see coming with that Lover's card. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with that Lover's card? What is that trying to indicate? What is coming towards the collective that they do not see coming? Okay, wow. Okay. Damn, okay. So, wow. We have the Four of Swords. The High Priestess. And clarifying the Lover's card, we have the Lovers. I love when Spirit does that. So if you have somebody in your life right now and you're not sure if this person's your soulmate or not, things are looking pretty good to confirm that. Obviously, you would know best. But if you're looking for that confirmation, that feels like it's definitely here. Have mercy on me. Okay, I'm going to try to make this quick. I say as it takes hours and hours probably. I'm like trying to block my head, so at least if I'm like knocked out, I'm definitely catastrophizing. Anyways, but this is so interesting, that Four of Swords to High Priestess. Somebody has been reflecting upon how they feel about you. They could see you as this High Priestess, and maybe they've been thinking about that and what that means. I also feel like they're probably thinking about, or feeling rather, that this is a psychic connection between the two of you, or a highly spiritual connection between the two of you that was meant to take place here. And, you know, the Lovers, can go back to choices. Like it can mean choices and stuff. And so I wonder. Actually, yeah, it feels like if this person was on the fence about you, now they are very clear about the fact that they choose you. So if this person had other options or was just dating around, feels like they want you and no one else. And it's interesting too with that Four of Swords and High Priestess. There's a lot of quiet. It's almost like I'm getting the phrase that like distance makes the heart grow fonder. Maybe that's something that is actively making this person more intrigued by you. You're not just like letting everything out. You're not just like, it's not necessarily that you're not an open book, but you're very selective about the things that you tell others, and there's a certain quietness about you potentially. But also, it feels like with that there's like an energy of unspoken connection that the both of you feel, but nobody said anything about it. And so now this feels like this person is ready to maybe talk about it with you, even if they're a little bit nervous and intimidated potentially. I really do think that this person really looks up to you here because of that High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is silent, and so I could definitely see that being a sort of intimidating sort of energy to kind of go towards. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. So clearly there is communication that this person wants to take place. So what you don't see coming in this part of the reading is somebody coming towards with communication, and maybe it has something to do with what has been on their mind and what has been on their mind for maybe some time now. I'm getting the phrase clear the air. So if there was any confusion, this person wants to put that sense of confusion to rest, I feel. Let's see what's underneath that Ace of Swords. Seven of Wands. This person is really trying to show you something through their actions here. That they're not giving up on you, maybe. Even if you're guarded, because that Four of Cups, that makes sense if you're guarded. And it may not even be due to this person in particular, but just past experiences put a really bad taste in your mouth. And that is so valid. But it seems like this person really wants to show you, I'm not like the rest of them. There's something slightly stubborn about this person, but I like that. Because it's like stubborn when it means something to them, Not just stubborn for the hell of it, but stubborn with a purpose. I feel like you mean a lot to this person, and this person is really going to show up and show you just how seriously they take you. I feel like you're probably going to have your defenses up, and I feel like this person may kind of already assume that you will. But there's something very authentic about this person that I feel like you're going to feel. And I feel like you might open up to this person. If not at first, eventually. But of course, you'll know best what is best for you. Seven of Wands. Let's see what's underneath that. Five of Wands. Maybe this person kind of wrestled with maybe what to do about this connection they feel with you. Maybe they what was I saying? Oh, Five of Wands. Well, they could see that other people are interested in you as well. You could have people competing for your attention here. And I feel like that's not really surprising to them because they see you in a very high light here. Excuse me. Oh, practice. That Five of Wands. This person could have been practicing as well what they were going to say to you. Maybe friends helped them with this process. Well, could have been with friends or could have just been on their own, but interesting. It could definitely be that they were running things past their friends to maybe get their opinion on it. Like, does this sound good? Does this sound cheesy? Um, all of that. But it feels good. It feels like this has, if this was some sort of inner conflict that they were experiencing when it comes to you, it feels like they are no longer conflicted. They know exactly what they want now. And they know that there is something very special about this connection they feel with you. I mean, the Lovers confirmed by the Lovers, like that is beautiful energy. This person is very genuine. I feel like I already said that, but that's what I'm getting. Let's go on to the Two of Cups now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming? Please and thank you, Spirit. With that Two of Cups, please and thank you, Spirit. I am a little bit worried that because it's so windy that the cards may not be coming out as easily, but we shall see. Okay. What else for that Two of Cups? Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming when it comes to that Two of Cups? Okay, there is a couple. Oh my goodness. Oh, wowzers. Okay, this person means business. Dang. Okay. Yeah, let me show you what came out. So the first card that came out for that Two of Cups is the Three of Cups. The two of you may be friends already or know each other from a community of some sort. Or maybe they would like to start out as friends, establish some sort of friendship first and foremost. And maybe if you have your guard up around this person, that probably would be the most logical way to go about this, because you may be very hesitant of just entering some sort of commitment, especially if you don't know this person super well yet. So they want to like establish that friendship first and foremost, and that also builds that sense of trust, which it feels like your trust was broken in the past by the wrong types of people. And so this person wants to show up and show you that they are reliable. They can be a true friend that you can depend upon. I feel like there is a very uplifting energy between the two of you with that Three of Cups. This person wants to lift you up, and I feel like you could lift this person up as well. So with the wind being all crazy, I'm not sure if this one was supposed to come out in the reverse, but I'll take it as that. Six of Swords in the reverse. Let me show you the other cards that came out first before I dive into that one. We also have the King of Cups and the Four of Wands. And the bottom of the deck is actually the Hermit card. So I feel like there is a mirroring sort of energy, or the two of you have very similar experiences that you're going to bond over. The Six of Swords in the reverse, why am I getting this sense of somebody changing their mind about something? And maybe, because it is the swords, maybe it's like somebody is changing their mind. Maybe at one point they thought that they weren't going to be communicating to you or communicating these feelings to you, but now they feel like maybe that they should share what they've been thinking maybe about you and them. Six of Swords in reverse. But it also could be like this person. Oh, actually, this makes sense in terms of that Three of Cups as well. So if the two of you right now are just friends, this Six of Swords in the reverse could be showing that they don't want to continue being friends. They want to shift directions here, shift intentions here. And if this person maybe at one point, the thing is, I don't really get an X sort of energy because it feels like this person wants to enter into a union with you, and it feels like the first time, if that makes any sense. Something about this feels new. So I don't really see this being somebody that's like returning from the past in terms of like an ex. But maybe there was some sort of miscommunication that they want to fix, or oh, well, let me say the first message first. Maybe at one point they denied you or refused you, rejected you, or rejected your offer potentially, and they are switching around to now being open to something with you. So that could be how they changed their mind as well. But I was getting the message. That's why I kind of don't like getting two messages so close together, because before I'm able to give one of them or vocalize one of them, the other one typically I forget. So, I think I was getting maybe the message of, how do I word that? It feels almost like maybe they were starting to head down a path with someone that they felt was right, and it could have been somebody other than yourself. This person could have even felt obligated to go down this path with this person for some reason. But with the Six of Swords in the reverse, maybe now they realize that that is not the path for them. And they see a path with you being much stronger, much more fulfilling for them. Maybe even healing and safe, depending on what this person has been through with that past person. But it feels like maybe something was left behind in the past, and they're making their way to you. It feels like there's a shift in direction here. Like they were planning to go in one direction at one time, but maybe since meeting you and feeling this connection with you, they changed their mind about their original idea here. And maybe that original idea was simply just being friends. Because we have then, after that Six of Swords in the reverse, we have that King of Cups and Four of Wands. This person takes you very seriously. And they know they're very clear-headed. I like this person. I like this. And maybe the reason why they're so clear-headed is because they've embodied that hermit and had a hermit phase potentially, where they were spending time alone and doing some self-reflection on what they actually want and what will truly make them happy. And they may have discovered that it's you. This person wants to show up in this King of Cups energy with you. They want to show you that they can be loving, supportive, healthy masculinity for sure. They want to expose their feelings to you, is what it feels like. Because you may be surprised how deep this person's feelings go. And maybe that's simply because the two of you have been friends. Or maybe you were involved in some sort of community where there was a platonic sort of dynamic or a professional sort of dynamic. And that Four of Wands, they want to come into union with you. They're not just thinking short term here. They're thinking about how wonderful it would be to be bonded to you, maybe for life, because sometimes the Four of Wands can be representing marriage, that kind of union there. So it's a really beautiful energy. This person feels authentic. This person feels very gentle and sweet as well. I get a sense of calm and patience from them. So they're definitely not going to try and like rush in and, be aggressive about this, or tell you that you need to make a decision right now or else this isn't going to happen. This feels like somebody that is just very empathetic and understands you to some extent. And I feel like you feel that, or you're going to feel that. With that Four of Wands as well, it feels like this person sees you as their equal, which makes a lot of sense, especially because we're clarifying the Two of Cups, which is all about that reciprocal kind of love. Equal. No one is giving more than the other. Everyone is giving equally. They really do admire you, and they probably, because the King of Cups, I feel like that is significant. That feels like these feelings have developed over a period of time, not just suddenly overnight. Oh, boom, I guess I'm in love with the collective. No, this is somebody that has been spending time around you and building this repertoire. Is that the word? And now they are certain, is what it feels like. They're certain that this is what they want. They want union with you. And then with that Hermit card at the bottom of the deck, I think that they definitely went within and they asked themselves, what is it that I truly want? And where do I want to go in life? And so this kind of actually makes sense with that Six of Swords in the reverse, because again, maybe they thought they were going to go down a different path, but then you came into their life and hit them completely off guard. You came into their life and they were off guard, didn't see it coming. And so maybe it sort of required them to kind of enter into this hermit phase to really understand their feelings, understand what this means, especially if it's this soulmate connection that we saw with the Lover's card. Let's see what's underneath that. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, this person is very responsible and patient. So that patient part was definitely true for sure. And again, the Knight of Pentacles. Although the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, that's a good thing, because this is somebody that thinks something out very thoroughly. They make very well thought out plans, because this person intends to invest into this long term. So they definitely want to make sure that they're making the right choices. But maybe at one point you were expecting this person to come forward with some sort of expression of feelings, but because the Knight of Pentacles moves so slowly, this person probably needed some time to develop maybe some sort of understanding between the two of you, like get to know you in that way. Or I'm so sorry, I lost that train of thought. Hopefully when I'm editing I'll remember. Also earth sign energy, like Virgo, but we also have the Pentacles as well. The Lover's card can be representing Gemini. Did any other? Oh, the High Priestess, so that's Cancer there. And that would make sense with the Cup cards. But any sign, of course, could be. yeah, this person's going to show. Oh, yeah. So I was thinking that the Knight of Pentacles moves so slowly. They may have needed to do some things first before they were ready for this or ready to vocalize this as well. I want to see what's underneath that Knight of Pentacles. The Magician. So that is representing, I'm pretty sure the Magician is Virgo and Gemini. So that's funny because I pointed those out as potential signs here. But that Magician card, they see you as a manifestation. Like, if they've been trying to manifest their perfect partner, it is you. And that's why they are taking you so seriously with that Knight of Pentacles, and why they want to take their time with this, because this is important to them. That's why they also embodied that Hermit phase, because it was very important for them to establish this awareness within them first and foremost, and truly maybe put it into words what they're feeling and what they see being possible with you. Very beautiful energy. I really like it a lot. This person feels really good. So be prepared for this person to come towards you, to communicate about desiring a connection with you, a union. Okay, let's go on to the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Please, Nikki Spirit. Oh my. Okay. What does the collective not see coming in relation to this Seven of Swords in the reverse? Please, Nikki Spirit. What does the collective not see coming with that Seven of Swords in the reverse? Seven of Swords in the reverse. Why do I feel like those two were meant to come out? Let's see. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Anything else for that Seven of Swords in the reverse? What does the collective not see coming? Please, in the Spirit. Maybe one more. One more shuffleophagus. There we go. So, this is this is beautiful. Okay, so clarifying that Seven of Swords in the reverse, we have the Empress. Look at that beautiful Empress. That means that this person has been hiding the fact that they see you as the ideal partner. They look up to you. They see you as just being like, I want to say so many different things, and this is what they're thinking. You're a beacon of light. You are somebody that's solid. You are somebody that's quite beautiful and doesn't even have to be superficially. This feels deep, like somebody that is beautiful inside and out. You are established in your life to some extent. You have a decent knowledge of yourself, and that is coming through with confidence. You're also tapped into the divine. The Empress embodies all of the queens, so there's all of those beautiful qualities. They see you as somebody that is very giving, down to earth at the same time. So even if they're intimidated by you, they know that you are actually pretty open and pretty typically easy to talk to. But of course, because this person sees you as the ideal partner, that may get them tongue-tied sometimes. And maybe that's kind of why this Seven of Swords was a thing in the beginning. Because maybe they've been holding all of these thoughts and feelings back. But now that the Seven of Swords is in the reverse, they're ready to let you know. And I'm going to say, yeah, it's possible that the Lovers card, that Two of Cups card, and the Seven of Swords card in the reverse could be all about the same person. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. And then following that Empress card, we have the Ten of Cups. which is really crazy because that can people sometimes refer to the Ten of Cups as happily ever after, the most emotional fulfillment that you can get, especially when it comes to a union. They see like a life being possible with you here. This is so beautiful, like truly. Like, look at it. This person sees everything being possible with you and more. The rainbow is really standing out here. Maybe somebody here, or maybe both of you, could be part of the rainbow tribe. I'll put it that way. LGBT. But also, it feels like just good luck. And maybe this is a mutual feeling too. It's like you both got so lucky meeting, maybe in the timing that you did. Something is just so beautiful here. Wow. But then, following that Ten of Cups, we do have the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords. So I think this is giving some background information, probably why this person held on to these feelings, these thoughts that they've had about you. The Nine of Wands is that wounded warrior energy. They may have had their guard up with you, and that's kind of reminiscent of your own energy. So I do think that this person feels a strong connection to you in a way that they can really relate to you. I feel like the two of you probably have very similar pasts and experiences. You both know what it's like to be hurt, and maybe hurt multiple times, and building a wall because of that. So they may have withheld this information about how they felt and thought of you. Maybe because they had to work through their own inner struggles here. The idea that they may have just been simply closed off to love in general. And maybe they were suspicious of you at first, because look at this combination. It almost looks like this guy here is looking at the Empress and thinking, I don't know. Is this person really as good as they say they are? You know? And then that Eight of Swords, that's them thinking themselves into circles and tying themselves up in the process, making them unable to make a decision or take an action here. Take action. But it feels like this may even be part of the conversation that this person wants to have. Like, yeah, they see you as the ideal here. They see everything being possible with you. But the reason that they may have kept this to themselves was because they were struggling internally with their own demons and hurts of the past that they had to kind of overcome. It feels like now they're ready to rise to the challenge, even if they aren't completely healed. But the thing is, I don't think any of us are ever completely healed. So I think that they are freeing themselves from this suspicious energy when it comes to you, because there's something here about this person now realizes that you just are that good, that you just are that awesome. And maybe this was a sudden shift that they experienced here. And then that Eight of Swords, they're probably trying to free themselves, or they already have freed themselves from that, from those mindsets and narratives that they built up over a long period of time, and may have built up as a result of very unfair treatment that they experienced in their past. And actually, this Eight of Swords is kind of giving the energy of like tongue-tied. Like they were tongue-tied when it came to trying to express themselves, but it's like now they're ready to talk. Now they're ready to expose how they feel, how they think about you, but also how they were struggling and why now is the time rather than before. If maybe you felt the feelings were there before. Because if you're the high priestess, I think you're definitely intuitive and you probably felt something between yourself and this person. But maybe the timing wasn't quite right at that time, but now it is. And it could be because they've removed certain things from their life, or maybe they worked on things within themselves and now they're ready and they feel like they can actually match your energy. Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I actually think that is beautiful because, again, this is a card of patience. Watching things grow, knowing that it's a process and it's not going to just happen overnight. And I feel like they're going to apply that mindset to this connection. They want to build it slowly over time because it means something to them. I feel like they definitely feel like investing into you is a good idea here. They feel like the payoff would be significant. But again, they're going to be very patient with you, very understanding if you have your guard up around this person, if you don't let them in right away. There's like that sense of patience, like they are willing to wait for you to be ready if that's something that you choose. But again, like, notice the body language here. It's not an aggressive, like, oh, I'm going to wait for you. Like, no. It's like, I'm here if you need me. Like, there's no forcefulness. There's no aggression. There's something so safe feeling about this person. And I feel like you're going to feel this as well. I feel like the feeling is mutual as well. Yeah. And also, this is kind of like a waiting and watching sort of energy. And so maybe that's kind of part of the explanation as to maybe why they were delayed in expressing how they feel, is because they needed some time to kind of wait and see if maybe you were just wearing a mask and then that mask eventually falls off. Or if they didn't really know you too well, they needed some time to get to know you so that they knew that you were the real deal, but also that the two of you are compatible to some extent. So they've been patient with you, I feel like, already, but maybe they're growing impatient recently because it feels like they now are so clear-headed about what they want. They want to express this to you, and maybe soon. Let's see what's underneath that Seven of Pentacles energy. The Fool card. See, now that is so beautiful. This person is so excited to have a new beginning with you. I see this person coming towards you. Of course, they're probably going to be nervous because they think so highly of you, of course. But they feel led to this. They feel led to you, maybe by spirit. But they're very enthusiastic. I also really like how in this depiction, there is a white dog by the Fool's side here. And that white dog is representing innocence, purity, and loyalty. And it feels like a sense of like partners in crime, like the two of you doing things together, but like fun stuff. Like, I'm getting like a hiking sort of energy, or like an outdoorsy sort of energy, like the two of you going on adventures together, having just a really good time. There's something so beautiful about the way you two act with one another or behave around one another. And it's very clear that the two of you are very compatible. It feels like even other people can experience that and feel that. Aries energy, potentially. Yeah. Let's see what's underneath that. Queen of Pentacles. So, yeah, they definitely see you as somebody who is very open, down to earth. Yeah, like what I was saying. You're very generous. You're very authentic. You have a good head on your shoulders, is what I want to say. But also, you have a good sense of who you are, a good sense of confidence that's not like egotistical. It's like, even if you have confidence, it's not like you're ego based, or, that you have a big head or whatever, that you think of yourself as, above others. No, you're very down to earth. You're very easy to talk to, I feel. Interesting. Maybe that's something that this person's not used to. And especially if you're attractive at all, or you have some sort of royal vibe to you, this person may have been surprised by how easy it was to open up to you, how easy it was to talk to you. Wow. This person truly admires you. You know what? I'm actually going to check what's underneath that Queen of Pentacles. The Sun. That is actually crazy. You are their sunshine. Leo energy. You are their sunshine on a cloudy day. And so they're going to go towards their sun, which is you. Wow, that is so beautiful. This person really, now it makes sense too why they feel like they kind of need to share this with you, is because you mean so much to them. The longer that they hold back on how they feel, it feels almost like they're depriving you of something, maybe from their perspective. And it simply could be that, this person wants to express too just how amazing, how incredible you are, because maybe you're so humble that you don't even see how amazing you are, but this person does. And this person wants to make sure you know that. Wow. This is a really beautiful person here. So be prepared for somebody that actually is like who they say they are. Somebody who doesn't just talk the talk, but walks the walk as well. Somebody that's really on your level here. Okay, so bottom of this deck, we have the Knight of Cups. So that feels like the energy that they're going to be embodying when they come towards you. That emotionally open and vulnerable side to them that maybe you didn't see before. They feel like they need to tell you how they feel. Maybe Spirit has even been kind of putting the flame under their butt, or whatever the saying is. Pretty much trying to get them to go forward and express themselves to you. Spirit could be kind of, trying to encourage them to go towards you, and maybe they feel that very strongly. Let's see what's underneath that Knight of Cups. The Hanged Man. Okay. So either they see you differently than they once did, or when this person comes forward with this information about how they feel, you're going to see them from a completely different perspective. Yeah, it's like maybe this catches you completely off guard here. And also the Hanged Man may be an indication that you're going to take some time to maybe pause and reflect on what this person tells you. And I feel like that's responsible. And again, because this person is so patient, I think that they're not going to have any problem with that. And that would be an indication that this person is right for you as well. Because anybody that's trying to pressure you to make a spur of the moment decision, doesn't truly care, because anybody that truly cares about you, they're going to want you to take the time to prepare yourself, to open up to them, to sorry, I got distracted by a background noise and now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, they if they're right for you, they're not going to pressure you. They're going to want you to take your time so that you're making the right choice. And if somebody's trying to pressure you and rush you, maybe there's something that they're trying to hide. But I feel like this person has nothing to hide, and therefore you're going to see it through the way they act, through the way that they are with you. Let's see what's underneath the Hanged Man. The Page of Cups, that's actually really adorable. So I see you, when this person comes towards you and expresses their feelings to you, I see you taking a step back to reflect. And maybe when you take that step back to reflect, you start to see them from a new perspective. And that Page of Cups underneath, that's you opening up to them, giving them a chance. Because it is the page, this is probably a new connection, which I kind of already felt that. But this is beautiful. And it's not like you're doing too much either. It's like, okay, I'm going to open up to you, but it feels like baby steps. And this person probably understands that based off of your past experiences. And that may be what they want as well, to just take your time to build something here with one another. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Wow. I think that this is going to be very exciting for you, and it's going to feel very right. Like, it just makes sense, is what I feel. Okay, let's take out the Oracle and see if it has anything to add to this. So I tried to make this a quick reading, but you know me. I couldn't, because I just love to dive into these cards and give you all the messages that come through. All right. Please and thank you, Spirit. Was there any additional messages that you wanted to share with the collective? Maybe about what they don't see coming, or maybe just general advice, whatever you think that they need to hear right now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do you think the collective needs to hear? Ooh, maybe in relation to this, or... Okay. That is interesting. Ooh. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you what we're working with here. So the first card that came out was the Moth card. But the thing about the Moth card is it came out in the reverse. Ooh, if I can hold them. Came out in the reverse. And the reason why that's interesting, the Moth card represents mystery, concealment, and illusion. And because it came out in the reverse, this person does not want to be mysterious anymore. This person does not want to conceal their feelings anymore. And if there's any kind of illusion that caused confusion, this person wants to clear the air about that. This person is so ready to let you know exactly how they feel about you and expose what they've been hiding from you. And it doesn't feel like it's anything bad. It just feels like they've been holding their feelings in. And their thoughts about you, all those positive thoughts that they've had about you. That is beautiful. And I don't usually get these cards in the reverse, so the fact that it came out in the reverse was very interesting. Because it does. It feels like that's intentional. This person wants to open up to you. Even if they're uncomfortable. Even if they're scared. Because they know that this is worth all of that. All of that risk, all of that maybe fear. Yeah. And then the second card that came out, we have Basil. And this represents prosperity, luck, and love. So in terms of what you don't see coming, you could just be attracting a lot of prosperity, a lot of good luck, and love, clearly. This person, I think, is, I do feel like this is a newer person, so I'm not going to say that this person is full on in love with you, but they're definitely on their way to falling in love with you. That's for sure. That's what I'm getting very loud and clear through this. Depending on how long you've known this person, they could be in love with you, especially if you've been friends maybe for some time. I'm also being drawn to the fact that there are 2 ladybugs here. There's something about how you are each other's equal. You're like a perfect match, I feel. Maybe that luck part in this card also is referring to how the two of you just feel so lucky to have bumped into one another, to have gotten to know one another. Maybe the timing around this was just so crazy. Like, what are the odds? But it's all good energy here. Wow. Then, bottom of the deck, we have the Leaves card, and this represents renewal, revival, and progress. So, renewal and revival. This feels like, well, of course, it could mean that maybe there's some sort of past between you and that, main love interest here. But more than anything, it almost feels like if you haven't been really tapped into your heart space for some time, if you haven't really been inspired to be open with your heart space and all of that, because there hasn't been anybody that's been, the right type of person, or, in the right kind of energy, or just haven't been compatible, or somebody that you wish to actually come into union with. Maybe your heart was kind of shut down for some time and you didn't really have anything that sparked it. But I feel like with this renewal revival energy, this person could be the one that puts that spark into you, back into you, more likely. And I feel like that's vice versa as well. Maybe the two of you were very closed off to love. And the more you know each other, the more you get to know each other, you open up to one another. And also, the last part of this card, it says progress. And so maybe this person has either seen your progress in life, in your journey perhaps, and maybe they're very impressed by that. But it also feels like the two of you may have experienced some sense of progress in terms of maybe getting to know one another. Or they'd like to see progress in terms of getting to know one another, so that the two of you build that foundation for a good, sturdy relationship to be built upon. There's just such solid energy here, and it's so beautiful. I feel like there's so much authenticity. Like, wow, it's so beautiful. So that is the reading. Maybe I should wait for the wind to stop first before I do my outro. Then again, I don't know how long we'll be waiting. Okay. So that is the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I hope the audio was actually usable and that you can hear me. And hopefully I'm not like making the microphone peak and all of that. If that's how you pronounce it. So, okay, anyways. So that is the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.